Welcome back. Right now, it's Vice President Pence speaking at the White House for the daily briefing on the coronavirus response. Let's dip in.
And the common sense practices that I just described are all available at cdc.gov. Today we had a series of meetings here at the White House and on Capitol Hill. We met with executives of the airline industry, the executives of commercial labs, executives of nursing homes. And our team also met with the Republican and Democrat caucuses in the House of Representatives. And we were pleased to learn that just shortly ago, the House of Representatives passed a federal funding bill by a virtually unanimous margin. It'll now move to the Senate. And the legislation implements the president's vision to ensure that not only do our federal agencies have the support and resources that they need, but also that our state and local partners have their support. And in my conversations with governors all the way through this afternoon, I know they're grateful for the bipartisan spirit that has characterized this funding bill, and we'll continue to work through that process. As President Trump said, we're all in this together. And he deployed a whole of government approach, but thanks to the president's leadership, it has actually developed into a whole of America approach. And the meetings today with industry leaders is a reflection of that. As Dr. Birx will indicate in just a few moments with some of the data that we're evaluating from around the world, it does appear that the elderly are the most vulnerable, and especially those with serious health issues. At the president's direction, as a result, Seema Verma will describe that the Center for Medicaid and Medicare Services has issued new guidelines for nursing homes nationwide. We have raised the bar regarding infectious disease control at our nursing homes. And in addition, Administrator Verma will explain how we are going to focus all of our inspection resources for the foreseeable future on compliance with infection control standards. Generally, we monitor our nursing homes for abuse and neglect, but at the president's direction, we're going to focus exclusively on ensuring that those who are in nursing homes, people operating the nursing homes, like many of the CEOs that we met with today, are complying with the new standards to keep our elderly safe. The president also met today with airline executives, and I'll reiterate, as the president said, our profound gratitude to our partners in the airline industry. They have worked with us in, as we say, flowing Americans through particular airports, the screening. We're working very closely with the airlines on contact information. If a person is tested as positive for the coronavirus, we're working with the airlines to get all the information, not just about that person, but about who they sat next to and who else was on the flight. And the president and I are very grateful. As we announced yesterday, I'm pleased to report that as of yesterday morning, in addition to the travel ban from China, we've suspended all travel coming in from China. We've suspended all travel coming in from Iran, and even foreign nationals who visit either one of those countries are barred from coming into this country for 14 days. We also established a travel advisory for Italy, portions of Italy and portions of South Korea over the weekend. But even as importantly, as of yesterday morning, we fully implemented a screening process. All direct flights from all airports in South Korea and Italy are now being subject to multiple screens before passengers board to come to the United States of America. The State Department worked very vigorously to bring that about, and we're grateful for the cooperation of the governments of Italy, the governments of South Korea, as well as our airline partners in making that a reality. Finally, with regard to testing, we had a meeting today that gave us great hope for great progress in the near future on expanding testing across the country. We have a ways to go yet, but I'm pleased to report, as we've been able to convey to state governments, governors around the country, is that thanks to the good work of the FDA and Dr. Steve Hahn, who's with me here today, now all state laboratories, all university laboratories at the state level, can conduct coronavirus tests without any additional assets or resources from the federal government. They have the FDA-approved test. They can conduct the test all across the country in all the states. Beyond that, as we announced through the efforts of HHS, 2,500 kits of tests are going out this week. 2,500 kits, including tests, has gone out this week. That's roughly 1.5 million tests that will be available this week. We'll continue to build on that number. But perhaps most significantly, thanks to Dr. Birx's efforts and leadership, we brought together today at the White House the leaders of all of the largest commercial laboratories in this country, companies like Quest that have vast capabilities, logistics and testing capabilities. And we were pleased to report today that they have created a consortium to share information and to share resources, and literally have told us that as they go through what is called the validation process on testing, that by next week, individual companies will be able to do, as they said to me, thousands of tests of coronavirus if they are needed and required, and many, many multiples more of that in the not distant future. Our objective here, as Dr. Birx raised with the task force, is we've got hospitals in affected areas and those that are requesting that have kits. We've got universities and state labs that now can perform the test on a requested basis. But our objective ultimately, and as quickly as possible, is to have tests made through these commercial laboratories and commercial providers that your local doctor, your CVS, your MedCheck is able to have a coronavirus test. And that isn't there yet. We're working to make that a reality. But again, it's one more example. It's not just a whole of government approach, it's a whole of America approach. Whether it be our nursing home industry, whether it be our airline industry, whether it be our commercial laboratories, I can speak on behalf of President Trump and our entire task force when I say we are profoundly grateful for the spirit that's being reflected by companies all across the United States of America. Grateful for the leadership at the state level, and the American people should be confident that that spirit of partnership is going to continue to drive this at every level as we work our way through dealing with the coronavirus in the United States. With that, I'm going to recognize Dr. Deborah Birx for her comments.
Hello, YouTubers. If you're watching this, it means you've checked out our channel, so thank you. Now do me a favor, subscribe by clicking on that button down there. Click on any of the videos to watch the latest interviews and highlights from MTP Daily and MSNBC. You can get more Meet the Press content every morning in the First Read newsletter. If you're tired of content that you don't know anything about where it came from, you don't have to have that problem with us. NBC News, MSNBC, MTP, and the Meet the Press mindset right here for you on YouTube. Subscribe now.